Before Wakanda, before vibranium suits, before multiversal Spider-Man, there was Luke Cage, the first black superhero to headline his own solo comic series. Not a sidekick. Not a token character. A leader. A survivor. A fighter. Cage didn't live in a futuristic utopia or get powers from a radioactive spider. He was a black man in Harlem, trying to survive in a world stacked against him. He was wrongfully imprisoned, experimented on, and came out stronger than ever. A hero born out of struggle, shaped by the streets, and determined to never be anyone's victim again. This is the full story of Luke Cage. His origins, his impact, how he changed the comic industry forever, and why he still matters today. 1. The origins of Luke Cage, why he was created. To understand why Luke Cage was created, you have to understand what was happening in America at the time. The late 1960s and early 1970s were a period of social and political upheaval. The civil rights movement had made progress, but racism and injustice were still deeply embedded in society. Black communities were demanding better representation in media, and Hollywood responded with the Blaxploitation film movement, a genre filled with tough, streetwise black heroes who took on corrupt cops, gangsters, and racist institutions. Movies like Shaft and Superfly were redefining black heroism. Marvel saw an opportunity. They wanted to create a black superhero who embodied this new wave of empowerment and self-determination. Someone strong, unbreakable, and unapologetically black. The creative team behind Luke Cage. Archie Goodwin, writer, a master storyteller who wanted to bring realism to superheroes. George Tasker, artist, a veteran illustrator who captured the grit of Harlem. John Romita Sr., art director, a legendary designer who refined Marvel's look. Roy Thomas, editor, a driving force behind Marvel's push for diversity. Born Carl Lucas, our hero had a tough life. He grew up in Harlem, surrounded by crime and corruption. He tried to stay out of trouble, but the streets had their own plans. Wrongfully arrested and sentenced to prison, Lucas became another statistic, a black man lost in a broken system. The experiment that changed everything. While in prison, Lucas was offered a chance at freedom, an experimental procedure that promised to heal injuries faster. But what he didn't know was that this was a government-backed experiment influenced by the Tuskegee syphilis study, where black men were used as test subjects without proper consent. During the experiment, a racist prison guard tampered with the process, hoping to kill Lucas, but instead, the treatment worked beyond expectations. Lucas emerged with superhuman strength and unbreakable skin. Escaping from prison, he took on a new identity, Luke Cage, hero for hire. 2. The impact of blaxploitation and street-level heroism. Luke Cage wasn't just inspired by the times, he was a direct response to them. His look, his attitude, and even his dialogue were heavily influenced by blaxploitation films. He was a self-made hero, a streetwise warrior who didn't take orders from anyone. What made Luke Cage stand out? He lived in Harlem, a real black neighborhood, not some fictional city. He wasn't rich or born with powers, he was a man who fought for his community. He was a hero for hire, a working-class hero in a world of billionaire playboys and alien gods. The problems with early Luke Cage comics. The jive talk, dialogue, writers exaggerated black speech, making Cage feel like a stereotype. Simple storylines, many early issues focused only on street crime rather than deeper systemic issues. But despite these flaws, Cage's debut was a game-changer. He was the first black superhero in mainstream comics who wasn't just a warrior or a sidekick, he was a leader, a survivor, and a symbol of self-determination. 3. How Luke Cage changed comics forever. Luke Cage's arrival broke barriers, changed storytelling, and paved the way for future black heroes. He proved black superheroes could lead their own comics. Before Cage, most black heroes were sidekicks or supporting characters. After Cage, we saw Black Lightning, DC, 1977. Blade, Marvel, 1973. Storm, Marvel, 1975. He made street-level heroes popular. Before Daredevil and the Punisher got gritty, Luke Cage was already fighting real-world crime and corruption. He redefined the superhero archetype. He wasn't rich, he wasn't from another planet, he was just a man trying to survive. 4. Luke Cage's evolution and lasting legacy. As time went on, Cage evolved beyond his blaxploitation roots and became one of Marvel's most important characters. Teaming up with Iron Fist, the Heroes for Hire duo became one of Marvel's most iconic partnerships. Joining the Avengers, Cage led Earth's mightiest heroes, proving he wasn't just a street hero. Netflix's Luke Cage, 2016, a modern take that tackled issues like gentrification, police brutality, and black empowerment. Today, Luke Cage stands as a pillar of representation in comics. His story, his struggles, and his unbreakable will continue to inspire generations of fans. Final thoughts: why Luke Cage still matters. Without Luke Cage, there's no Black Panther movie, no Miles Morales, no Falcon as Captain America. He wasn't just the first, he was a movement. He changed comics, and he changed the way we see heroes. Like it, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dives from African Reads Comics. This is African Reads Comics signing off. Stay unbreakable.